So yeah, I think the only thing I can say, unfortunately, I have Northern Irish roots. My mother was born there. She was born in Belfast. I think in like 1945. Not I think. She was born in 1945. And she was born, Ray, within a week of Van Morrison. She's almost exactly the same age as the Belfast cowboy. Imagine my kind of expectations when I realized that my mother, born in Belfast, was born the same week, the same year, in the same locale as Van Morrison. In my mind, somehow she and he shared the same mystic. And so I had this kind of cool romantic idea that my mother and Van Morrison somehow shared a hospital stay.
Some sort of poetic.
Yeah, man. It was totally destroyed when I asked my mom about that, and she said that can't be the case because I was born at home.
Right.
Home birth.
And
so that ruined it.
Van Morrison wasn't born at her home.
No.
We don't. Do we know? We can't say we don't know.
I'll tell you what, if Van Morrison would have been born at your mom's home, that would have been special, right? All right, fellas, how's this going? Oscar, Felix.
It's going good.
Doing well.
It's a Sunday pod. Has a little bit different vibe than a Friday night pod.
Does. The daylight was throwing me off, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Going in this with daylights. We'll see what it looks like when we leave, but yeah. Big weekend. This was a home Iowa game for you guys. You guys big
Indeed.
Tailgaters.
Kicked off the season. Always a fun time of year.
So you guys do a bike ride before you do anything on Saturday mornings, don't you?
If kick time allows for it, I think. Yeah, the 5 o'clock kick helped us in that regard this week. Yeah.
It did. Yeah, we have a standing year-round. We ride pretty much most Saturdays year-round. And during football season, when kickoff allows, we get it in before the tailgate as well.
Yeah.
And so do you just like tool around Iowa City and just kind of look at the town before it goes crazy? Or
Year-round, we often stop at Kinnick, at the Niall Kinnick statue, as just a little quick coffee slurp before we figure out how much further we're going to go on. We have kind of a standing route, but it typically involves stopping at Kinnick. And so stopping at Kinnick this week, of course, you did get the build up. The lots are kind of being prepped. The combine was down there. They were getting that set up. And then but we do have a traditional stop. We go to a particular restaurant, Pullman, typically for breakfast. So that was the loop this week.
Pullman is a great restaurant. They have wonderful breakfast. I mean, just great food all around.
Great food.
I think it's a Nate Kading place, isn't it?
It is.
They have great drinks too.
They do. I think that's been the enduring component of the Pullman stop is they make a great breakfast bourbon cocktail that, you just don't find anywhere else, and it just pairs nicely with all the great breakfast dishes they've got, and it's become...
And it's a brunch thing. It can play. Sometimes we go for breakfast and stay for lunch.
Right. It's
happened a time or two.
That has happened.
Pushing you out of your seats, your table. So, and that's kind of fun to be down in Iowa City in the morning when all the kids are doing the walk of shame, and you kind of get to see the back end of somebody else's night. Right. Deadwood's closed at that time?
Well, yes, but funny you mentioned that because a couple weeks prior we had made a lengthy stop at Deadwood. We talked about it on the last pod. And so this time we came out of Pullman to get on our bikes and leave, and the door opens at Deadwood, and the bartender is summoning us over for Tang Bomb, which is, their specialty shot, which we'll discuss and drink later. So we had to go over before they opened.
Right.
VIP status, no big deal.
Right.
And had a Tang Bomb to start the day there. Get them kicked off.
I had my head down because we had agreed going in that it was going to be a business trip, and we were going to cap the number of tipsy pigs, and we were going to be on our merry way to get ready for the tailgate. And I did need to stop off and get some briquettes at Dirty John's Grocery for tailgate grilling.
So briquette is a piece of wood, charcoal?
No, it is charcoal briquettes. Yeah, just at Kingsford.
You're on your bike.
Yeah,
Gonna stop by and get a 20
That's how we roll.
of briquettes.
Yeah. We rolled over there. Yeah,
Brad had a small fire with his gas grill at the 4th of July.
Yeah,
and that's still not replaced, so he had to go old school.
Yep.
Right.
Since he burned up the gas grill, he decided to light a real fire.
Yeah.
Once you haul an armoire, everything else smaller
exactly.
is legit.
Right. Oh, if you've seen some of the stuff we brought out of John's Grocery on a Saturday morning and fit into bike bags.
Exactly. The Beverly Hillbillies going down the road.
One time we bought the Belgian sampler pack that came with glassware.
We sure
We
did.
had like
Right.
12 beers in 6 glasses.
It was, it was a promotion by West Mall, one of their Trappist beers, and it came with the appropriate serving vessel. And so we both got one. And I
felt
think
like-
that wasn't the only thing. I think we were picking up brown juice supplies
Oh,
too.
all of it.
It was,
Remember
it was
being a
real
kid? Did you
haul.
were you in band or anything, and you had to put your band instrument like with bungee cords on the back of your bike? That's kind of what we
Yeah.
look like half the time on Saturday mornings.
Well, the Tang bombs were filled, delivered, and you guys, and you're now known as the Tang bomb guys at the Deadwood.
Well, there may or may not have been confirmation that we drank the most Tang bombs.
They
in a
went through the
single
most
sitting.
Tang concentrate. Now, to be clear, we participated with others. There were other entrants into the party. But yes, there was a lengthy session last Saturday.
Yeah, Brad's being modest. He's like an all-star running back, giving credit to the offensive line here. But let's.
I mean,
the show,
we were again.
star of the show is Brad Dunlap drinking Tang bombs. Let's.
Do you think at some point, like there was like a staff meeting at the Deadwood, like, hey, listen, we haven't sold a Tang bomb in 3 years, and then this lowly cyclist comes in and says, hey, about your Tang bombs, and now put it on one podcast and they're firing up 6 gallons at a time.
It doesn't speak well that we've become associated with or gotten to know locals that go to the same establishments that we tend to roll in and out of. And so there's a guy named Terry that we actually met across the street at the Irish pub Mickey's, where there was a morning where, was it Webb's birthday? A guy that was riding with us, it was his birthday, and there was a guy sitting with a Thor hammer. It's a hammer, right? I guess.
Yeah.
What is it? Thor's...
I would call it a hammer.
Yeah.
This was a Halloween prop, obviously, with lights on it. And
But he's sitting at the bar at like 9:15 with this Thor hammer and big long beard, and seemed to be a real regular guy. And we're in there making chit chat, and next thing you know, he's doing Irish car bombs.
Yeah.
At like 9:15, 9:30 in the morning, and we're looking over at him like, whoa. And I don't know how he found out it was a birthday, but he decides he's going to buy us Irish car bombs, which we stupidly agreed to. And that's how we got to know Terry. Well, fast forward, what was that, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago?
yeah, I think 2 years
We
now.
find out that Terry was asked to not come back to Mickey's. So he just moved his operation right across the street.
Yeah.
Now, they don't do they not have Guinness on tap at
They
the
don't do car
Deadwood?
bombs at Deadwood.
So he, being an innovator and being, not beaten by the system,
Right.
he then pivoted from the Irish car bomb to the Tang bomb. And so somehow, some way, isn't that how we were
Yes.
originally introduced to it?
Yes.
Was Terry, who was the car bomb guy, told us about it. And we were curious and we had to figure it out. So Terry happened to be in there. So bringing it up to present day,
Yep.
last Saturday, we go in there. We're going to just be in and out. And then in comes Terry. Later in it's Iowa City pub crawl weekend. So all the students are out in their pub crawl shirts. And we know it's time for us to ride.
Yes.
We did not escape.
All right.
John's daughter and some friends of hers were heading down, and so they popped in. They had to try one.
Yeah.
Then, a little bit later, Terry. There were some other cyclists that were out. So we were introducing a wide array of characters to the product, and
Tang bomb.
it made for quite a Saturday.
And Tang bombs really are made for breakfast. I mean,
Truly.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it's Tang.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
So
When you think about it, the Tipsy Pig plus Tang Bomb. There's something.
Yeah, and
about
Brad and
that.
I've experienced. We talked about Pullman and the Tipsy Pig. I think both separately have been to Pullman on like business occasions with colleagues and stuff. And like the
Yeah.
staff will be Tipsy Pig, and
Right.
wanting to bring us one without ordering to the table.
Yes.
It's like
Right.
this is a working like
they
lunch.
don't know the
Yeah.
they don't know the order between
These are business.
Fun- Fun John and Fun Brad and Work John and
exactly.
Work Brad.
Yeah, that happened to me at the Wig once. It was an evening business dinner. We had a physician in town, right? He was giving a lecture or something, and we decided to go to the Wig, and we're, having pizzas and beers, and all of a sudden, just like this shot of just bottom shelf tequila shows up, which happened to be my go-to with some of the bartenders there, and
Yeah.
I just kind of looked around like, Nope, not my first time here. And the great thing was the physician was like, well, I'm not going to let you do it alone. And he asked for one.
Oh, yeah.
So skated out of that one. But it was one of those where your heart kind of goes up in your throat a little bit like, yeah.
What would have been
I
better
might
for
be a
that
regular.
story is if they would have like set like a 2-liter beer mug with your name on it.
Yeah, right. Never been here. Oh. Hey, Sam.
Yeah. Your last one was chips, so we got you a new one, Brad. All right, boys. So we want to touch on tailgating this weekend. There was a home Iowa game this weekend. It started off their tailgate season. Tell us about where you guys tailgate. What's the scene there?
So we tailgate at a property called the Rose Club. It's on Melrose, just up from the stadium. Those not familiar, Melrose is kind of a residential street that butts right up against Kinnick Stadium, kind of a unique setting since a lot of major stadiums are surrounded by lots and all this. Kinnick Stadium's a little different where it butts up against a residential neighborhood. We have a friend who, single guy, works at the University Hospital years ago, had indicated he was interested in purchasing a house close to Kinnick for the purpose of tailgating. My wife's in real estate. She found one for him. He bought it. And so that's been our place ever since. He's an incredible, gracious host. Opens his house up. I mean, it looks like a commercial operation on Saturdays. It's he's got a deck up on top of the house. It's just a great setting. And so we kicked off the tailgate this week. We had a kind of a beach Margaritaville barbecue theme. He always has a theme each week. Mm-hmm. And great crowd, great weather.
Yeah.
Tang bombs.
Steve is just an incredible host, and you can just tell that, he's a huge Hawk fan. That's how you guys know him, right? He just loves putting on this event, and he wants it to be very much a family ordeal. You know, our kids and their friends come by, and a lot of families come to it. But he just, it is, I almost feel like a year-round, he's planning for the season. Today was cleanup day. He's already started planning for next week. There's a website, there's a social media, and this year he decided, which is a really cool thought, people pay to park in his lawn, and he's taking the proceeds from that and turning it over to charity. And so he actually set up a 501c and made a foundation, and each week when people come, there's a little raffle, and like I said, those that park there, the money is like then turned around and given to local charities. So a friend of ours that lost his daughter has a foundation in her memory, and that this week was for John Langland, the Be a Light Foundation, his daughter Brooke. And so, Steve's just a big-hearted guy who I think loves to see everyone have a good time, and he couldn't be more generous. But like you said, the house is 100% a tailgate house. Yeah, that he lives in. But it's
a shout out. I do think I was over there this morning helping him, and he was kind of tallying some things up, and I think it's gonna be north of $1,000.
Oh, cool.
Was raised for the BLI yesterday from the tailgate. So
so
it's a force for good. A lot of fun.
We have fun
for a good cause.
Has a purpose.
Yeah,
beyond cheering for the Hawks. And
a lot of fun though. And I think we should give ourselves a shout out. I think we did some of our first fan photos. Right, we got some pics with some fans of the pod.
We had some podcast listeners there. I was like, okay, I guess we'll take a photo with you. So that was kind of interesting when people know about us that we don't think about it, but I guess they do know about us now. But
it was fun. Good day, great tailgate,
beautiful day. Yeah.
All right. Well, today's show we're going to dive into a story that's much about culture as it is about cocktails. The rise of the shot and the mixed drink in the American bar life. From tiny drams of whiskey in the 18th century Europe to the standardized shot glasses of the Old West Saloon and our rough frontier whiskey softened with the mixers and playful shooters and cocktails we know today. These traditions tell us a lot about how America has celebrated, socialized, and even coped with their liquor. What started as a practical way to measure or mask strong spirits have evolved into a ritual of camaraderie, creativity, and sometimes pure spectacle behind the bar. So we're going to handle this a little bit like we handled the food segment. We're going to be doing some tastings. I don't know if that's the best way to talk about it, but
self-inflicted harm.
Self-inflicted harm. So let's start off with the phrase shot itself. I think a lot of people are familiar with the shot glass. So how do you think that this came to that?
I don't know. I mean, it feels like your choices would be a beer or a cocktail, but maybe some people who aren't necessarily spirits enjoyers and they're not going to sit there and drink a whiskey or a gin and tonic or something like that. They it's kind of like expedience and like get it over with. So I think it's just like quick. It gets you moving. Sometimes it's accompanied by a beer back or something that goes along with it. So I think it's kind of about expediency and like getting the pain over. Not maybe.
Yeah,
not
I would
pain.
say, and I've done zero research on this, so I'm hopefully you did, right, and you can fill in some context. But I'm kind of guessing that primitive nature of distilling and like bathtub gin or some like hooch that moonshine things that were in a previous era. They weren't refined methods of barrel aging tasty spirits and drawing out a bunch of flavor. So it was kind of a down the hatch, take the burn, get the buzz, and probably that's how it came about.
Yeah. The actual consumption of distilled spirits started in the 17th, 18th century over in Scotland and Ireland with whiskey. And it was a much smaller dose than a wine or a beer, but it gave you that kind of warm feeling. You knew you had it. There it was called nips or drams. It was a dram of, And so the measurement was not necessarily standard over there. The term shot is a very American term, and it really developed during the westward push. This would have been like the Cowboys. The term, whether or not this is true, is shot. You could exchange a bullet for a whiskey.
Okay.
At some places, I don't know if that's true or not, but it was expensive to ship things west. So saloon owners wanted a standardized measurement of whiskey, so they knew how much they were going to be able to sell out of a bottle. Because a lot of times saloons had, glasses that were not uniform.
Yeah.
So the shot glass became a uniform way of knowing how many drinks you can get out of a standard bottle that was being put on a wagon or a train or whatever. So
Modern day, you're not in a dive bar if you go to an establishment that has those little measuring devices on top of all the bottles.
Oh, right.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Yes. That is
the digital
not a dive bar.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to start off, I think, with simple shots here, and we're going to drink them and get the response and talk a little bit about how some of our history with some of these spirits are. So, John, what are we going to start off with here?
I would say, we haven't pre-planned the order, but we are sitting here looking at a keg of Fireball in the middle of our studio table. And it happens to have 3 separate dispenser taps on it, one pointing at each of us. So it feels logical that we would start with Fireball.
Right.
And go from there.
All right, I'm with you. So let's do a little shot of Fireball here.
All right.
Very low flow. This thing needs a Euro EPA.
Does it need a prostate?
Since we're talking shop. Oh, there we go. That's free flowing. Oh, see, you did the same thing I did. Cheers to you. Brad's gone from a shot to a half pint of Fireball to start us off.
So Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey is a liqueur by Sarzac Company. It's a mixture of Canadian whiskey blended with cinnamon flavors and sweeteners. It's 33% alcohol by volume. It was developed by Seagram's in the mid-1980s and started off as a flavor of Dr. McGillicuddy's, one of the McGillicuddy brands.
Do you remember all the schnapps that you used to get back
yeah.
in the day? And Hot Damn, right, was the cinnamon. And I feel like this has completely replaced it. I don't even know if I've seen Hot Damn. It's probably out there, but
Yeah.
There-
kind of a new
I
school.
forgot about that. Yeah.
There is a superior cinnamon schnapps that is distilled in Cumming, Iowa. It's
Okay.
called Prairie Fire.
Oh, yeah.
And it is, in my opinion, the absolute high holy of all cinnamon schnapps. And I think you could only buy it in Polk County. You can't get it outside of Polk County. I might be wrong on that, but
Fireball's definitely. I was just going to say my team adopted a Fireball Friday.
Yeah.
Kind of day of Ragbri each year, and this is going to give me a little bit of cold shivers to think back of.
You know, I know you're the resident eggnog aficionado at the
Yeah.
table. I think we all enjoy it, but you go to the next level. But Fireball is extremely popular eggnog additive.
Yeah,
I've
no,
never
it's a
gone
good-
that route. Maybe have you tried that or not?
No,
I'm
I
more of a
can totally
traditionalist,
see a
but-
cinnamon in there. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. Should we do this straight up,
Might as
Yeah.
well.
just like the kids do?
Up yours.
Really strong cinnamon notes.
Yeah, really strong. It's cinnamon on cinnamon.
Yeah, I'm not getting the vanilla aftertaste. I'm getting cinnamon.
Does anybody know what cinnamon is?
No.
No, but it was a commodity you could trade with back in the day, right?
100%.
Yeah, it was.
Cinnamon is a bark.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's a bark
Okay.
that's powdered, pulverized, and that's...
It's giving me big red.
Well, since this is a McGillicuddy's, I have a wild card here that I did not let you guys know about.
All right,
Fantastic.
and I've got
We're
a
adding
wild.
to-
I've got one to add too, so this is gonna be fun.
This was going to be simple. It was going to be like
This'll be
4, maybe 5 standard things. It's turning into 8 quickly.
Ray going into the freezer.
Oh boy,
The brown bag in the freezer.
love it.
This is like
Also slightly scared.
the kidney in the bathtub here.
This is kind of... I think this was my first schnapps.
All right.
This was the first schnapps that I had.
Is this like Christmas? I get to unwrap the present?
Right.
Yeah. Drum roll.
Oh, there it is.
yeah.
The OG.
Yes, the
Oh, yeah.
McGillicuddy's menthol
Yeah,
mint.
I think a lot of people started on that.
Right.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
I think every grandma and grandpa had that in their bar, and that was like, yeah, I don't know what. I don't know if there's anything you can mix with that.
Nope. All right.
Should we give it a go?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just put some of our shot glasses in front of us so we don't have to keep getting up.
So this is McGillicuddy's, Dr. McGillicuddy's. I'm sorry, I did not
Right,
mean to
right.
slight his 8 years in medical
Right.
school.
Show some respect, Ray. Come on,
Maybe
man.
he's a pharmacist. Maybe he's a chiropractor. Maybe he just.
Might have been a
Don't get excited. He's a dentist.
He's a dentist. All right, so this was
We're losing
my,
audience members. As
right. So we you serve this as cold as you can get it. I think some people keep this in their freezers. So
We have a friend that's a professor at the university, and he goes sometimes by doctor, and he tells a story of he booked airline tickets as Dr. Brian Caskey,
Right.
and sure enough, there was a medical problem on the plane, and they came to him and asked if he was a doctor. He's like, I teach.
There's a doctor in the house.
I teach public policy. So he quickly abandoned bragging about his PhD. Right. It's like he cannot deliver a baby.
he would
at
be willing to
30,000
do mouth to mouth in a certain emergencies, though, probably.
Yeah, only certain.
so we're going to take on a little menthol mint here. Menthol mint, Dr.
Yeah.
McGillicuddy's. All right.
Well, the bouquet is what you would expect it to be.
It's 24% alcohol by volume.
Okie doke. Yeah, very smooth.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Kind of has this still some on your tongue after you. It's like it's not oil, but it's still there.
It's got a little viscosity.
Right. I feel like sometimes, like if I have an upset stomach,
Yeah.
this doesn't help, but I'd still drink it just in case.
Yeah.
It might help.
It's fantastic
All right.
in hot cocoa when you're skiing.
Oh, that is really good when hot cocoa. So that is the grandfather to Fireball. Fireball went off and it started off as a McGillicuddy, but
You talked about putting it in hot cocoa. It made me think, and we're talking about tailgating. Remember the Boda?
oh yeah,
The wineskin Boda.
The,
Yes.
the Boda would be a great vessel for putting like hot chocolate and then adding that to it.
Right.
Or,
The Boda was a perfectly acceptable thing to take to Kinnick Stadium to the football games.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
yes.
you could have that hanging around your neck. They didn't
No
care.
problem with
Right.
that. No questions.
It was, yeah.
If you had like a bottle of whiskey, like, hey, you gotta leave the whiskey here. If you had a can of beer, like, you leave the whiskey here. If you had a boat around your
Yeah.
neck, like, all right, go ahead. And,
Yeah.
You guys go ahead and go in.
Yeah, they must have just decided it was soft-sided. They didn't care about the liquor, right? So
Right.
it wasn't the kind of projectile you could throw on the field. So
Right.
And
Bring back the Boda.
Every other person in the stadium had a Boda around their neck, and
The shape of the Boda, if you would have thrown the Boda onto the field, it would have and came back
Exactly.
to you like
Yeah.
a boomerang.
Yeah.
oh, it had that little red strap.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Little
you felt like
cord,
a
little-
Spaniard conquistador
Absolutely.
heading down Melrose to the stadium.
Exactly.
You know, it was about football season, like in, late July, early August, you started seeing Bodas show up
Yeah.
in the liquor stores. Like, they wouldn't be there all year, and then all of a sudden,
No, I worked at John Wilson's Sporting Goods downtown, and
Right.
we stocked Bodas, for football season
You
at a
get
sporting goods
Boda.
store.
I didn't know that.
Uh-huh.
all right, so we've got Fireball and Dr. McGillicuddy's off of the table. What's next, boys?
Well, I feel like we should just go straight to the Dunlap special, the BST.
Okay.
I think we should just
yeah.
get there.
One clear spirit to another. Just keep it kind of clear and flowing. All right, let's do this.
So what do we have, Brad?
This is bottom shelf tequila. And
Oh, mercy.
yeah, I mean, we're going
Blanco.
sweet.
Blanco.
Jeez,
And we're going to
Pete,
go.
friends.
Yeah.
We're looking at a bottle of bottom shelf. What?
So,
what
so that label, I had a feeling you were going to ask me what it is, and to be honest, I'm not entirely sure. I established a reputation, and we go back to Ragbri as we often do, but I established a reputation amongst friends and colleagues, and it started on a ragbri one year. I remember it was in Dyke, Iowa.
Keep that away from flames. That is really something.
And
Here's your lid. Please
Yeah.
do some.
so
We need to store that outside.
I question whether this. So I
It's
like
100% not agave.
Right? Not from agave.
I will say, not knowing what this is, I'm guessing it could be.
Well, I can see it from here. It says Red Devil Turpentine on the outside of the bottle.
It could be a Juarez. But for my money,
Hawkeye and BJ make this in the swamp.
This is something that my team actually gifted me at some stage because I had developed this kind of reputation for liking the worst tequila they've got. And for my money, a good bottom shelf tequila would actually be in a plastic bottle. And this here's clearly glass.
Right.
So this can't be the absolute bottom.
Right.
But the whole thing started with some buddies of my biking team and a friend of mine, Terry McAllister. And it was one of those days we were riding ragbri. We were in Dyke. I can't remember what the overnight town was, but I think it was like the next town. And we roll in and kind of to the whole point of when we were doing the open here about just be efficient. Let's just go in. We went into this dive bar and we're just going to have one shot of tequila. And so you go into this kind of local dive bar and Terry McAllister says we'll take 8 shots of the worst tequila you got.
Right.
And she's like, what? You want the well? We're like, yeah, the well. No salt, no lime. We just want to get a good kick and then we'll be down the road. Well, we go in, she serves it up, we quaff it back. He swallows it and looks her dead in the face and says, you don't have anything worse than that? Do you have anything in the basement? Do you have anything? You know, and so he's quizzing her on like, are you sure that's the worst tequila you got? And she's like, no, that's the worst we got. We did another one.
Oh, boy.
Then we thought, okay, let's get down the road. We go out. We're mounting up our bikes. And he says, you know what? One more. So this happens twice. So it's like
So you get all the way back out to your bikes and they're
then
like...
in we come.
Right.
So that started a little bit of a tradition of if you're going to step up and do a shot, let's do a real shot. And let's not get salt and lime. Let's go with the worst that they've got. And so BST has become a thing for me and folks who know me, people who've worked with me. They've probably experienced a BST. In some instances, they don't have anything below a Cuervo, which is not bottom shelf, but it's kind of, I would say, mid shelf. And so on occasions, I've actually had to ask someone. I usually do it jokingly, but I got taken up on it. I said, if Cuervo's the worst you got, could you at least heat it up in the microwave? And someone did it for me in a hotel bar. So this is bottom shelf.
BST stands for Bottom Shelf Tequila.
That's what we're having. Yeah, and this is a label that was made by my team a few years back, and they'll be glad to know that I'm getting into it, and we'll see if it really is bottom shelf. No salt, no lime. It's just straight
BST.
Straight BST, and it gives you a little bit of pep in your step. Shall
Down
we?
the hatch.
I don't know
Down
if
the
it's
hatch,
going to
boys.
pep in the step, but it gives me a headache about midway down my head.
So bad.
See, I just like...
You like that.
I like a little bit of the burn. I
Yeah.
don't mind the taste at all. And I feel it's got a more of a... Ray, you're probably doing research or you've done your research, but like I've been told that tequila, the properties of tequila have both, because it's got alcohol in it, obviously it's got a depressant quality, but it has a stimulant to it too. So to me, it gives me like a little energy.
Well, I will say, so tequila is made from the blue agave plant. Agave is kind of a cactus.
Yeah.
It's what I use for a sweetener in my coffee every morning. So it's made from the blue agave plant, primarily surrounding the city of Tequila, which is about 40 miles away from Guadalajara and the Highlands. So this agave plant only grows in a certain area. It requires an X amount of sunlight and an X amount of arid climate. The other thing is it needs a raw red volcanic soil, which is also around the Tequila area. So it's good for growing the agave plant. So yeah, it's distilled from the sugar of the agave plant.
I figured out what this is now that I've taken a much deeper look at the scratched out label here. This is Montezuma. This is Montezuma.
Yeah,
Truly a bottom shelf. Even though it's a glass
qualifies.
bottle,
Yeah.
it's bottom shelf.
It is.
So for a long time,
Montezuma's revenge.
they have fought to raise the image of tequila, because back in the 50s
There's a lot
and
of high-end
60s,
brands of tequila now.
Right. One of our friends has an acquaintance that they have tried to make this area of northern Mexico kind of like the Napa Valley of tequilas, where they have a lot of these distilleries and they have places you could stay and spend 5 days down there sampling these tequilas.
And they do treat treat it like wine, or even like a whiskey. Like a friend of mine when I was living in Chicagoland, his mother was from Mexico, and he married a woman from Mexico, and he would go down there and they drink their tequila like wine or like whiskey. You have your with the meal tequila, you've got your after the meal tequila, you've got your aperitif version, and like they're all sippable, and like you can almost drink it. And I think in Mexican culture, they do drink it almost like wine.
I was in Austin one year, football season, got invited to a Texas Longhorns game tailgate. It was a totally different setup than we do. Very hoity-toity tailgate situation. And they were sipping,
sipping
gold tequilas. And I will say it's amazing, the flavors. And
yes.
I mean, it's 100% different experience than a Cuervo shot.
For sure. And I don't know anything about it. And people think I'm a tequila. So when they're like, what should I get? What tequila? I don't know. I usually just go with the worst they have. But there are some really good tequilas.
But this definitely was not one of those.
No.
So one of the agreements, the standout agreements with NAFTA was that Canada, the United States, would not recognize any other tequila that was not distilled and produced in Mexico. So
that's you got to protect it.
Right.
Like champagne comes from the Champagne region in France, like Parma ham has to be, there's a whole society around like protecting that artisanal creation.
I gotta be honest. Tequila was like at the front end of this. Like
you did know that, yeah. It's gonna get better from here, I think.
Right. Well, okay, yeah.
But before it gets better,
look up.
Let's make it just a little worse. So I'm gonna bring out my surprise that I added in.
Okay.
So bear with me for a second while I set a bit of a stage.
Okay. Yeah. Oh God.
Here we
go. Whew. Happy Sunday. I don't know if I should be excited or scared.
This exercise begins with John removing the keg of Fireball from out of the middle of the table to create room. Oh, mercy. Okay. So now
I have a feeling
he's turning off the lights.
Something. Oh, God. This is going to be like something from Grease.
All right.
I do kind of like the subdued lighting. Yeah, let's leave it
like
that.
So we now have one LED, and John in the middle of our table is lighting something on fire.
Here we go.
And he has got a shot glass. We are looking at a blue flame.
Yeah. This is the Flamin' Uke, Yukon Jack Canadian whiskey.
Oh, okay.
Set ablaze. This is the presentation that we exclusively drank in college with this. So you would light it on fire, extinguish, and do the shot in one fell swoop. So I've got one ceremonial in the middle of the table so you can enjoy the aesthetic. And then we'll turn the lights back on and each get our own little sampler of this
nice
honey-based Canadian whiskey.
So we are looking
Flaming Uke.
Honey-based Canadian whiskey. We're looking at a blue flame, which means that I think that this is at least 40% alcohol, and it's dancing inside of a shot glass, and it's
On the old original bottle, I think they've changed it, but it would read, Yukon Jack is a taste born of hoary nights when lonely men struggled to keep their fires lit and cabins warm. Boldly flavorful, yet surprisingly smooth. There is no spirit like Yukon Jack.
Wow.
You got to admire a person's desire to drink by saying, like, okay, the only thing we have is honey. And somebody's like, I think we can make that. Yeah, we can work with that. We can distill that. We can get drunk on honey.
Yeah.
So they've taken that saying off the bottle, and now the bottle simply reads, only the strong survive.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm going to turn the lights back on and get you guys your own little unique sampler.
Beautiful.
As a scout, John knows never start a fire you can't put out. I think I'm just going to take a little sip of the Yukon Jack. It is honey colored.
Wow. Yeah, I was going to ask, how does one put it out? You don't just you can't just take it. Ooh. Hey now. That actually turn the flame up a little bit.
Never start a fire.
Hey. Oh, that's getting all right.
There.
All right.
So John.
All right.
John
We're
put
safe.
the flaming uke out.
That whole motion you were doing made me think maybe we've missed different types of popper shot. Like this is the only thing I think we're doing that involves the mechanical agitation of the ingredients. Wow.
Is it? Did it crack the shot glass, or did it have
Yeah,
some
I think it did.
imperfections in it? So the Yukon Jack is 50% alcohol by volume, 100 proof. So so we got to keep Brad away from open flames from here on out.
Yeah, and I wanted to have a blaze tonight, so this could be trouble.
So we use this as obviously a party trick in college, and we would pour drinks for people, light it on fire. We also, in one infamous Christmas party, poured a layer of it on the top of our bar, quarter-inch lip. We covered the entire bar, and we had blue flames licking like 3 feet up in the air inside an apartment.
I dig it.
Yeah, it was.
That's good. What was the bar top made of?
It was really. It was a wood bar. It had a varnish and everything on. I mean,
Okay.
it was
It
not
was
a safe
finished.
operation, but it didn't catch the whole thing on fire. But
So this is the same thing as my beloved Red Stag. This is labeled as a liqueur with because it has something added to the whiskey. Yeah. So Canadian Jack. All right, here we go, friends.
right.
cheers.
Cheers.
We actually just did NAFTA.
Yeah.
We did Mexico. Now
And
Canada.
Yeah. Now Canada. Yeah.
Now, what I would say is interesting about that, I don't
It's
know
an
what you're.
American spirits, too.
That is very honey.
Yeah.
That's
flavored.
sweet to the
My
tongue.
college, and I literally have not drank this probably since college.
This is very.
I remember it being horrible.
Yeah.
That does not seem
That's not
horrible
bad.
at all.
Honestly, I prefer that to a Fireball.
And the other thing
Really?
you guys you
Yes.
couldn't appreciate on the recording, I tried to, when we did this in college, even at bars, you would light the shot, you would lick the palm of your hand,
Yeah.
smack on it, and it would create like a suction.
And it would.
and put the fire out and stick on your hand. And then you pull the shot glass off and do the shot.
Okay. I thought that.
Now, this is, 20 some years later, maybe the formula's changed. I don't know. That did not work when I did that. In fact, it
well, it's
actually
the
broke.
creams, like the different creams and balms and things that you use on your hand.
Could be
Part
not.
of-
Yeah, all the product I use now.
a lot of the
part of your mail.
So, what we have now is a broken shot glass on my table. So that did not work quite the way it used to in college. I'm kind of glad I didn't light my whole table on fire because who knows what would have happened.
It's your moisturizer, John. Damn
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Wow.
I got a mani-pedi right before we.
What
we
do you
shot.
say, Brad? I'm not mad at that.
Not
No,
mad.
that
I'm not
I dare
mad
say
at it
that's
at all.
better than BST.
Well, it's different.
So
I like those. I like the surprises, though, boys. That's good. But we're on quite a journey.
So
here.
we're at a crossroads here where we have a series of things over there that are mixers, not necessarily straight shots. We got some bombs and some things. The next bottle in line that's a straight shot is the one, the Jepson's Malort. Is what's there. Now we're going right from sweet to savory. If we go right to that, are we ready for it?
I'm just thinking through the profiles here.
Yeah, we're not really on a trajectory where we're
Because this is
pairing
gonna
things.
mess with whatever comes next. But
No.
I'm for it. I mean, we've gone kind of clear, simple one and done,
Yeah.
which this fits into. What do you think? Stay clear.
Dude, I don't know. We what was our number 3 or 4, like bottom shelf tequila. I think I can. I know what I'm in for from Malort.
Ray, do you just
I mean-
want the biggest steak we got?
Well, I
and a
wanna-
shot of
The
Malort.
biggest steak you have and a gallon of Malort.
Now, yeah, I want to hear you say that you would rather do that than the BST is going to be.
All kidding
more of-
aside, we talk about everyone's got a different palate. I would drink Malort all day long before I voluntarily.
You're kidding me.
Oh, I'm telling you. You and I've logged a lot of shot time with you, Brad, and I'm a team player. I'll drink the BST every time you get it,
Yeah.
and I hate it every single time.
Yeah, more
I don't
than Malort.
mind the Malort.
I mean,
The story for our
just-
personal journey with Malort, and Ray, you probably have history queued up to share with us, but I had heard of Malort.
should I bring it over while you're talking?
Sure,
Yeah.
bring it over. I had heard of Malort. We obviously live close enough to Chicago that it's a thing here. It's a Chicago cult classic. I had never had it. I don't think anyone in our tailgate group had really ever had it. Several years ago, the Hawks were kind of on a struggle bus football-wise, and we all went to Chicago to the Northwestern game. And we made the decision that we needed to do something as a slump buster, and we decided to do Malorts before the game, and the Hawks won the game, and Malort stayed on our personal football menu ever since. So now it's a thing at the Rose Club and beyond. Thanks. Oh, thanks. Jesus.
I mean, I've got a problematic wrist injury.
Good Lord. Sorry about that.
Malort is a bitter wormwood-based liqueur, most famously associated with the city of Chicago, though it originated from a Swedish-style Baskin-Bourbon origins. Introduced in 1930 by Coral Jepson, a Swedish immigrant, Malort developed a cult reputation for its intensely bitter, almost medicinal taste that lingers long after the sip. Considered more of a dare than a delight, it became quirky at a rite passage time in Chicago's bar scene. Especially the local bartenders adopted its badge of toughness and city pride. In recent years, Malort has gained a broader recognition beyond Chicago, with some drinkers embracing its unapologetic harsh flavors and part of its charm.
Boing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect timing on that.
So the history of Malort is the founder was Carl Jepsen, who was a Swedish immigrant. He moved in Chicago in the early 20th century, and he made his version of this wormwood spirit, and he started sharing it as a remedy for stomach worms.
Yeah.
There were a lot of worms in your guts, and wormwood's cousin is absinthe. Also made of wormwood, which distilled differently from wormwood takes you on a psychedelic trip.
Yeah.
But this just has this medicinal taste. Some people say it tastes like pencil shavings. Like if you sharpen a pencil, that's what they say it tastes like. So when Prohibition came around, they went to sanction this because it does have high alcohol principles, and he said it is a medicinal remedy and not a liquor. And they tasted it, and the five-panel judge said who would drink this for pleasure.
Yeah.
And so all through Prohibition, you could still buy Malort. The recipe has changed hands twice. The last time, and the entire time it's been in Chicago, distilled in Chicago. It was purchased by some dude that basically did it because it had such a following in local Chicago bars. It is a thing now where, like, I bet just pop it on somebody. Don't tell them it's going to be bad, and you just watch them do the shot.
I was just going to jump in with two things that relate back to a prior podcast. One is advertising. So I really celebrate the spirit of the brand, and they have some fantastic ads, like Malort. Tonight's the night you fight your dad.
Right.
Or I think there's one that's like, these pants aren't going to shit themselves.
Right.
Things like that. They just really embrace that this is going to be terrible.
Right.
And we want you to know that, and we want you to enjoy it. The other thing is, and I don't know if it was a personal assault on you, Ray, because I understand, we talked a little bit on the last podcast of like pumpkin spice. I'm kind of a pumpkin spice snob, anti. Like, this season brings me no pleasure when people are adding that to their nog and their coffees and their creamers and all of that.
Right.
But Malort recently, I think last year, maybe John, you brought it to my attention, they came out with a pumpkin spice version of Malort, which, what the hell were they thinking? But apparently people buy it. And I think there's some other additives that they've done other co-marketing. I can't remember, but maybe John, you know some.
They've
but
rolled
I know
out a barrel-aged version.
a barrel-aged Malort.
Yeah.
A pumpkin spice Malort. So you want your sweat socks to taste like pumpkin spice. You might have some sweat socks, Ray, that taste like pumpkin spice after you play pickleball.
Malort, when you want to unfriend somebody in person. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's perfect. And with that,
Malort, you're not getting your security back tonight, partner.
yes. That's a great ad campaign.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
To Malort.
Cheers.
Bitter.
To me, it tastes like Listerine.
You'd rather do that than a bottom
Yes,
shelf.
I would. I honestly would.
Poof. All right.
I just don't want stomach worms.
Yeah.
Their latest ad campaign involves the Pope.
Oh, yeah. Chicago Pope. For sure. What's it say?
No, it's just a Pope waving from behind a bottle of Malort. There's just a bottle of Malort and a Pope peeking out the side.
I love it.
Wow. Well, and that is a drink combination. The Chicago Handshake is a shot of Malort chased with an Old Style.
Yeah.
And that is a thing you can order at a lot of places.
I could use an Old Style right now, actually.
Oh.
This is not. Maybe I'll do another BST just to cleanse the palate. Wow. What are we doing after this? Malort is just, it's something that I don't know. Do you think coasters know about it? It's very much a Chicago thing. So do you think anybody, on the East Coast, West Coast will have seen it behind a bar or given it a go?
I've seen it in Denver, that far west. I've
Okay.
not seen it in California, but it's, making its way.
Odd listeners, I will tell you this. If you have a kid that's curious about alcohol, like, hey, they want to have alcohol, just get a bottle of Malort and say, all right, this is what alcohol tastes like. And just give them a thimbleful, just enough to let them
If you're
know.
ready to drink this, you're ready to drink.
Yeah. Right. Because I will tell you, they might never drink again.
Yeah. It's savory, and it is become a tradition. Tailgating tradition like no other at Rose Club.
Yeah.
I feel like we should be going up, and all we've done is kept going down.
No, it's the sequencing, and we didn't plan this. It's fine.
Right.
But now we're going to move sweeter on the palate. Yeah, it has to. I mean,
Well,
what could be more?
Well, anything's going to be better than this.
Yeah.
So we're into the bombs and the mixes.
Okay.
I'll let you guys decide. We can go Tiny Bear.
Oh, that's sweet. That'll maybe.
If you want to use that as a palate cleanser, we can go Tiny Bear next.
Yeah.
I feel like I have COVID because I just had a drink of ginger beer, and I can't taste the ginger beer. Like the ginger beer doesn't taste like anything except Malort.
Yeah, Malort does kind of feel like COVID shot, like what a COVID shot might taste like.
That's one of their ads. It says, "Malort, it won't cure COVID, but you feel like it should."
Perfect. Ray, have you had tiny beers?
Just up in Cedar Rapids.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, you've done that.
Yeah.
I'll prepare the tiny beers.
Yeah,
right,
beautiful.
of course.
Yeah, it's a visual spectacle, so it's hard for the potters to know what we've got, but you'll describe it well, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've prepared the tiny beers. If as you're listening and going through all the drinks we're having, you can do the math in your own head. But as I was preparing those, everyone spent the last 30 seconds shoveling Munchos and Funyuns.
Yeah, the Funyun might
Down
be a
as fast
great
as they
finisher to the Jepson's Malort.
So the tiny beer, if you're not familiar with it, is a fun party drink. It's not too harsh, and it's actually pretty tasty. It's liquor 43, topped with heavy cream. And so the concept is you get a clear shot glass. In this case, we've invested in the concept, so we have little tiny
Beer mugs.
beer mug
Little
shot
mugs,
glasses.
tiny little mugs.
Shot of liquor 43, which is a golden liquor in color, and then you top it with a little heavy cream to create the head of a beer. And so it looks just like it sounds, a tiny little beer in your hand.
So if you want to make this at home, just actually Google tiny beer and the recipe will come up for it, including what liquor 43 looks like. So,
What do people do with liquor 43 besides this? I don't know, but this is the way to do it.
all right, here we
Yeah.
go, friends. Tiny
Cheers.
beers. Cheers.
So to me, that's very vanilla. I think
Very,
that's,
yeah.
that's what I taste. And I
That's
think
a fun little drink right there.
I think liquor 43 is one of those kind of fun things like cilantro. Some people dig cilantro.
Right.
Some people say it tastes like soap.
Yes.
Brad.
Yes. I've got the gene. I've got
Interestingly enough, like I think liquor 43 tastes like vanilla, just like sweet, cordial.
Oh.
But apparently it's got one of those unique flavor profiles that to some people's palates, it's very harsh and like horrible.
Oh.
And we one of our friends that lives in the neighborhood here is one of those people that he would probably rather have Malort than liquor 43, which is
What I would say
crazy.
is this, we were worried about the sequencing of things. This has the sweetness and the viscosity that it kind of has coated. It's kind of laid down a thicker layer on top of the more acidic Malort. And I think it's been a greght way to reestablish, like, this is definitely sweet, though. Sweet and thick.
very much so. It's a dessert shot, unless you're one of those people that thinks it tastes like Malort with milk added to it.
I think it's,
That's delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is delicious. Look
so this is a thing in Little Bohemia, right?
Yep, Cedar Rapids,
Yeah,
Little Bo
classic,
Bar.
classic dive bar.
Yep.
In the Bohemian Village, which I think Cedar Rapids is known to be like a lot of Bohemian immigrants. I think the National Czech Bohemia
Museum
is there.
Yes.
And they have very authentic kind of cultural dishes and so forth. And this little pub, which is where I think you were introduced to this, is all about it. Little Bo, little beers.
Yeah, we've talked about Jeff before. He was one of the poinsettia story from a couple episodes ago.
I will tell you, Jeff is
He gives no shit.
Yeah,
No.
he's a good guy, and he doesn't give a shit if you care like him or not. This is the most un-Jeff thing.
I know. It's
Well,
kind
it
of
is.
like
He'll make
fancy.
you wait.
It's kind of
yeah. And if you don't know him and you order him, and again, he'll sigh and roll his eyes
Right.
like,
Yeah.
Because you know
Little
what?
beers.
He's got a fush.
Yeah.
A lot of these.
10 of these.
Does he do these? Is
Beer,
it-
yeah,
Yes.
they're
Oh,
little beer
absolutely.
mugs there too. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And he's just like, oh Jesus,
Yeah.
I got to wash all that. That's the work
Yep.
is in his head
He's
before he's,
doing-
even pouring the first one.
Yeah.
I don't care if they enjoy these.
And if you're a regular, you get the tiny beers and you order them. And if you're not a regular, when it fits the
He huffs
schedule
and
that
puffs.
evening,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
so you might be sitting
Right.
waiting for a while to get it. But in any event, it's worth the wait because they're great.
Oh, yeah.
And
I will tell you this liqueur 43 that would be good with an amaretto. That would
Yeah.
be good with there's a lot of things. This is really good. I mean,
It's very buttery, too.
Yeah.
I'm getting butter now.
And you've got to have like cream on hand and keep it, like make sure it doesn't expire. If this is going to be your thing, somebody's having to go out and when they go and get
Yeah, this wouldn't work in the Old West. I think dairy. I think dairy products. Like we're gonna do this.
would not work.
it's not
in
a
the
stagecoach
old-
drink.
We started. We started talking about like where
coming
did
in
shots
off
come
the
from.
range driving cattle. You know it's going to taste good, Bart.
You got
12 of
any
those little
Anderson
beers.
Erickson heavy cream. Add that to some of that liquor.
you go milk that cow. I'll go tap the burn.
Cowboys wrote songs and songs and
but
songs about
my
little
point is
beers.
like the shot, like we're on the shot experience, and we've really gone modern day now, where you have to have a molded mini beer mug, and then we're gonna do a car bomb, which is also like I'm not big on dairy. Like we're gonna do a car bomb, which is also kind of this could curdle. There's a lot of like dairy related concerns I have. with some of these combos. I think keep your spirits freaking clean.
Good thing you're not a cowboy.
I acknowledge your concerns, but you're wrong. Well,
I'm sorry.
first of all, I will say this. This is not a modern thing. These little beer mugs, that's not modern. This is a throwback to the 50s and 60s. This is a throwback to like the supper clubs when they would have stuff like this behind they would have the glassware and stuff. So
Yeah,
I think
okay.
this is like old school. These little beer mugs, that's from the 50s and 60s. And as far as you're
Okay.
concerned about dairy, I
I know
hearing
you like nog, and I'm not trying to offend you.
Right.
But I
don't-
just think keep it clean, keep it clear.
At a place like New Bow or Little Bow, when you say, "All right, these are going to be one of our signatures," then somebody's going out and getting
Yeah.
First of all, let's acknowledge that Jeff keeps a bar. Like we've talked about this before. He doesn't use a gun to get his soda. He
Nope.
has to.
He
He
opens
pours
cans.
out.
Yeah.
If you're gonna get a rum and Coke or whatever, he's opening a can of Coke. He's managing his stock. So yeah, no, I don't disagree with you. I mean, if it's not your signature drink or it's not something you're focused on, you do run the risk of getting expired dairy product and getting hung up in the bathroom for like 3 days.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the Malort's for.
This
Right.
thing turns into cottage cheese, it goes down kind of hits you in the tonsils on the way down.
Right.
I'm not for that.
Well, you sold the listeners on Tiny Beers, Brad. So true marketing man.
Listen,
No, try it, listeners. I loved it.
If you
I just-
are in
I'm a
Hy-Vee
simpler guy.
and Liqueur 43 is on sale, I say get it. There's a lot of stuff you can do with it. That was a nice little drink.
Okay.
What's next?
Do you want to go to outer space next? Is that the?
Yeah.
All
let's
right.
get us.
It's time. Brad, what are we gonna have?
We're gonna have the Tang Bomb.
Tang bomb.
Tang Bomb.
So our next drink is the Tang Bomb. We, the boys here, have picked this up from the Deadwood, which is a staple in Iowa City. The Deadwood Saloon. And the Tang Bomb is, John, why don't you go ahead and talk to us about like the mixture, because we've got a good mixture going on today.
Yeah, and sometimes this catches people by surprise because it is not a shot. It's more like a 3-gulp deal. So it's a shot of Jägermeister and then topped with Tang, the old vitamin C enriched drink from your childhood or from outer space. And it's measured out. Basically, you just pour it until it looks about the color of iced coffee, I would say. So it's usually, you say maybe 8 ounces total in the glass, 6 to 8 ounces maybe. It's
substantial.
Yeah,
One
it's not
quart
just
is
a one.
shot,
It's
yeah.
a
What did we say a
chug.
shot is? Did you have the measurement on that? It's a 3. I would say it's the equivalent of like 2.5 to 3.
Yeah, I would say
Shots.
The
that's,
volume
yeah.
of that, would you say,
Yeah,
John?
somewhere around there maybe.
Tang's an American drink that was formulated by General Foods Company by scientist William Mitchell and chemist Bruce James, which scientist and a chemist, what more do you say? That was in 1957. It was marketed as a powder orange drink in 1959. It's currently owned by Manzella International, and the sales were poor until 1962 when John Glenn's Mercury flight said they used Tang as a drink, fortify their scientists with the chemicals, I guess.
Just to add to that quickly, the chemist that invented Tang
Yeah.
also invented Cool Whip,
Oh.
Jello, and Pop Rocks candy.
Wow.
Is that
Heavy
real?
hitter. Yeah, that's real.
Wow.
That is a titan in the food industry right
Right.
there.
Whoa.
Right. He could have stopped with just Tang, but
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
no.
No, he wanted to be a
Kinda
first
like that.
ballot Hall of Famer. He,
Oh, 100%.
you know, that's like batting for the cycle.
So we didn't ask, but how do you think this came about? Do you think it's a Deadwood specific thing?
I think
We've
so.
never really probed. Like
Yeah.
who started it and when did they start it? We'll have to that's a research project for maybe next week.
It is.
Maybe-
We've asked at some other bars, and they have no awareness of it, have no Tang.
It sounds like
Yeah.
Deadwood writes everything down in a 3-ring
They've
binder.
got a book. We talked to the owner on Saturday, and he said, which I think we could potentially do a pod with Ben. Ben said behind the bar, and actually, they actually keep a log of different encounters that have happened, and their
Right.
thought is, could they write a book or do some sort of recording of like episodes that have happened,
Yeah.
famous people that have been in there, and
Right.
different just goings on.
Right.
And Ben was giving us an account of something that had happened earlier in the week, and they literally got out this 3-ring binder. There was a regular last week. We were reading the letter from this regular who was offended by like being refused service, and he wrote this long handwritten thing that he mailed in because he had been banned. And I just think the
Signed
history
Brad
there.
Dunlap.
the other thing. That would have been typewritten, so no one could trace it to my actual handwriting.
Magazines, just like random
John,
letters.
I did not have too many tang bombs. I can come back.
Anyway, we went in there. We had tang bomb, and we're gonna do tang bomb here. Sorry to digress.
That's all right. No.
Tang bomb.
Tang
bomb.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Cheers. So, proud dad moment. We introduced, as we talked about a couple times already, my daughter to the Tang Bomb with some of her friends on the bar crawl. And we introduced Tang Bomb to the rest of our tailgate group, kind of unveiled it to most of the tailgate crowd yesterday.
It's big coming out for tang bomb.
Good contingent of college kids, as always, were there and enjoyed the Tang Bombs as well. I woke up in the wee hours of the morning this morning to a text from about 1 o'clock in the morning from my college daughter, and the text simply read, Tang Bomb, exclamation point.
Tang bomb.
It's fantastic. I'm like, all right, kids got the spirit.
I would say that this happened not at a bar. This happened at probably in an apartment or a house or something like that, where a kid probably had like a third of a glass of Tang left and wanted a Jaeger shot, did not want to get up to dump the Tang out, just dumped the Jaeger right in there and tried it. And like, you know what? This works. Yeah. Because I'll tell you what, this drink reminds me of like a thread of DNA. Because you can taste the Tang, you can taste the Jaeger bomb. You can taste the Tang, you can taste the Jaeger bomb. You can taste. I mean, you can taste it as you're drinking it. You're like, there's the Jaeger, there's the Tang, but they are all together. I mean, they're one taste, but you can really differentiate them out. So
now, earlier you brought a surprise with the McGillicuddies, Ray.
Yeah,
and John had his own Flaming Yukon.
Right.
And this wasn't planned necessarily, but I feel like there's something about the Tang Bomb, just like saying a Tang Bomb.
Right.
And John referenced the text he got. I really like, we were told maybe 3 weeks ago when we were in the Deadwood that they're considering an adaptation of the Tang Bomb and doing a Tang Tang.
A Tang Tang, which would be
Tangeray and Tang. Do you guys mind if I just tee one of those
Is this
up?
the surprise? The Brad
This is what I'm going to bring.
the Brad surprise.
This is what I'm bringing.
Tang.
An adaptation of the Tang Bomb, the Tang Tang.
All right.
Right, let's see what we got here. We're kind of getting, so this is a shot, but we're kind of, with the volume of what we have, the Tang Tang and the Tang Bomb, the volume is going up. So we'll talk a little bit about mixed drinks here. The poor quality of alcohol played a big role in mixed drinks in the United States, especially around the 18th century. Many spirits like rum, gin, and whiskey often were harsh and unrefined. They had unadulterated impurities, and the distillation process were inconsistent. So a lot of times the producers would mix mixers with it to try to stretch them out, or to at least make their bad-tasting liquor taste a little bit better. They'd mix it with spirits that had sugar, so the agave, citrus, such as orange juice or lime, waters, and spices, such as spiced rum. They would take some of the harshness out of it and make it more palatable and sometimes even safer to consume. So those were our earliest cocktails. So that's and the Old Fashioned was one of the oldest cocktails, because some of the whiskey was, if it didn't taste bad, was downright dangerous. So that's the history of why people started putting stuff like, I guess, Tang, but also orange juice and lemon juice and everything else in the mixed drink, because the bottom shelf tequila was so terrible. So, all right, so we have Tang, the Tang Tang.
Yeah, this is an adaptation of what we've already just sampled, and it sounds good. We don't know. I don't know if you guys do you like gin?
You know, gin will make you sin.
Gin will make you sin.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's Tangeray.
Tangeray, yeah.
I mean, it's not the highest shelf either, but it's not.
If it's good enough for Snoop Dogg, it's good enough for me.
Exactly. And I think, again, we've talked a little bit about this. We'll see how this goes down, but we're looking for some marketing partners. We're looking for some potential co-branding. And if the Tang Tang takes off,
right,
I think Snoop, hit us up.
Oh.
Who are you looking for the money for? The Tangeray or the Tang? You think Tang's got the Mozilla company's got the deep pockets?
No, I think if we could somehow get kind of some cross-referencing to the Tangeray and Tang in a Snoop Dogg song,
right?
Then
so it's Snoop Dogg is the
that's
linchpin in
what we're
this.
going.
That's who we need. All right, let's see what this is all
cheers,
about.
guys.
Right,
Tang Tang.
Quite a little bit here.
It's not as good as a Tang Bomb. I would
No,
say.
I'd agree.
That I wish the gin would have been chilled.
Okay.
The botanicals overpowered the crystalline sweetness of the Tang.
If we're going to try to act like we're
Yeah.
taste testers, you mentioned like the Tang bomb is like a melding. It's like a one flavor, right? The Jaeger mixes with the Tang and it creates that. To me, there was a separation of powers here.
Right. This is
I-
orange flation
And I got gin on the back end.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, I feel like
I might have poured it a little hot too. I mean, this is a workshop, guys. We're workshopping.
You do know it's like 1 part Tangeray.
I'm sorry.
2/3 part
We're
Tang.
spitballing here, and let me work through it. But it was like conceptually, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
We
We
gotta
tried
have
it. I mean, you got to try it. Who knows? We might have tried it and we're like, yeah, it's pretty amazing.
I think we can work on it.
Okay.
What's next?
So we can take a trip across the pond to Ireland next if we want to, and then we can get into the
boy.
protein-based bombs. I think maybe is that what we do, or do
Finish
we?
with the meal? Yeah, that might be the way to go.
Okay.
All right, here we go, boys.
So here we are. We've got our, I think, it's a pretty classic shot. It's as we said before. It's a combo of 2 ingredients. We've got the Irish car bomb. So it's traditionally done with Guinness, as you pour a pint glass, maybe 3/4 full, and then some Bailey's Irish cream. And the idea is you put the full shot of Bailey's.
Before we
Yeah.
go a lot further, and I know you're not Betty Crocker by nature.
No.
Previous episode, you told us that the Tang bomb had 3 ingredients, counting the water in the Tang as a third ingredient.
Yeah.
And I don't want to fact check
Right.
and create conflict on live here, but
No, please.
I would say the Tang bomb 2 ingredients. An Irish car bomb has 3 distinct ingredients, and I just want to make sure that we've crafted these correctly because an Irish car bomb has Guinness,
Guinness.
with Jameson in the glass,
Jameson.
and then you drop in a shot of Bailey's
Right.
for 3 ingredients.
All right.
And I'm
So
feeling. Is this a mind blowing moment for you?
right now,
Right.
I totally effed this up.
No, I'm gonna.
There is Jameson back there.
That's why
So
it's sitting
so
there.
let's do a pause. I naively thought that a car bomb was just 2 things,
Right.
and I've done more than my fair share, I think. But let's fix that.
Well, and
You
then we'll
call
come.
yourself a Dunlop.
I was going to say to Brad's defense here, the Irish car bomb is a distinctly American thing that is
Right.
not received well if you try to order it when you're in Ireland.
Kind of like St. Patrick's
And
Day.
Brad is a citizen of Northern Ireland, so for him not really knowing what is in an Irish car bomb is not as surprising as you might think.
Right. Well, actually, for Brad as an Irish descent, it's
Northern
just the
Ireland.
Jameson.
Let's be specific here.
It's just the Jamesons.
So 4 ingredients if you count the water that's brewed in the Guinness.
So let's just to kind of true this up. Let's just
Whatever.
Ray's just adding a little Jameson. I'll just dab a little in there too. In here, John,
There you go.
and then you
Nice.
can do the same.
And as a true Irishman, that was a healthy pour. of
Sorry
Jameson for Brad.
again.
But deserved for.
All right, let's just drop this in and throw it down.
A glass of Guinness and a shot of Jameson and a
Yes.
shot of Bailey's, and we're
How could I
dropping
forget
the
the Jameson?
Jamesons and the Baileys into the Guinness. Here we
1,
go,
2,
friends.
3.
Slante.
Oof. Oh yeah,
Fantastic.
pear grape.
So
How
tasty.
did I not? How did I not?
You've been
have
getting
Jameson?
bonus Jameson all these years. Free of charge. Free, no extra charge.
I will tell you what, man. Guinness, is there any better beer? I mean, I'm sure there's better beers, but Guinness is such a great beer.
It
It is such a great beer.
Yep.
They got it right. I mean,
I
I,
like it
don't
a
know
lot.
how many times it took them to get to this, but man, it is such.
And I will
great
say,
beer.
and I think it holds true. If you go and commit to a night of just Guinness, you
Yeah.
don't mix, you don't match.
Right.
You just drink pints
Guinness,
of Guinness. You could you can do it all night.
right,
And 2, you are not hungover the next day.
right.
There's a huge misnomer that Guinness is like an oatmeal in a glass or
So
something. It is
heavy.
not
Yeah,
a
it is.
heavy.
No,
It's got
it-
the same
and it-
calories as skim milk. It's
Yeah, I was going to
actually
say it
on the
doesn't have a
lighter
whole lot of
spectrum.
calories.
It-
It's
yeah.
just the color of it. Everybody gets freaked out over.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think it's 90, maybe 90.
Yeah, I don't know if
It's
that
not
much,
that
but yeah,
much more than a
it's-
light beer.
Right.
No,
it's a great beer.
Very
People just
quaffable.
get freaked out by the color, but man, it's a great beer.
All right, car bomb.
On to the next.
On to the next. We're going to basically the meal course here. We're protein based bombs.
Back to the protein-based bombs. All right.
This is the egg bomb, which is a famous shot bomb that you can get at Joe's Place in Iowa City. We've talked about Joe's quite a bit.
Right.
Historic dive bar downtown Iowa City.
One of the originals.
This is a pickled egg that is behind the bar at Joe's. They put it in a small beer glass, top it with beer. And so what we have here is pickled egg topped with some champagne and beer Miller High Life.
So this is a medical note. I'm putting this in my chart for my doctor who's listening to this, who is like trying to figure out what's wrong with me. These eggs we opened a couple weeks ago, and we did a show about pickled products as a preservative.
Yeah, the culinary cornucopia of the dive bar.
These eggs made an appearance at a tailgate last week and sat in the sunlight for about 6 hours.
For authenticity.
For authenticity. And now we're getting ready to drink it with a
this
Miller
is the same
High
gallon
Life.
of Herb's eggs that we got for our original episode. Right. And
we talked about the clarity of the broth, and it has gotten to be more...
It's taken
kind
on
of
a more
dive bar.
vintage
Yeah,
Murkied up a little bit, yeah.
And for sure.
All right, so so here, High Life and pickled egg.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. All right, so last time we had these pickled eggs, I said it kind of tasted cardboardy. The white part of the egg white, is starting to taste a little bit more vinegary. These eggs are improving with a little bit of oxygen exposure.
And I describe the center as being kind of dry.
Yeah.
And in this presentation, this combination, didn't experience that.
Listen,
things have gotten better as time's
if
gone
you
on.
get pickled eggs, the first thing I recommend is opening that top and getting some oxygen in there.
Yep.
Because I think it improves the egg a little bit.
Yeah.
well, I will be revisiting.
Get some bacteria in there.
Yeah, get somebody's cough in there. Get some COVID in there. What this thing needed was some COVID.
As a service to our listeners, these eggs sit out. We'll put the lid on that stays. And then next time we record, next week, we'll try them again. And we'll just kind of rate them as we go. See how they age.
Herb, if you're listening, I apologize for my first take on your eggs. I think that your eggs are actually getting better with time, and I'm sorry.
It's like a fine steak. It needs to age.
Yeah.
All right, so we have another.
Yeah, so obviously the pickled egg bomb, we discussed it when we did our pickled food episode. One of the other foods we sampled at the time was the pickled ham hock, which inspired us to see if we could create a bomb ourselves that might develop some traction.
And I think we all agree that upon visual inspection, I was a little concerned about how the hawk would go down.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I think we universally gave it the highest rating of the pickled meats.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so we thought, let's not waste the hawk.
Right.
Yeah.
And let's see if we can springboard off of that unexpected experience. And maybe we're in Iowa City. We love the Hawks.
Right.
Go Hawks.
Right.
Could we make a hawk bomb or something? Like, because now you've heard it. We had the tang bomb, the tang, the egg bomb. What about a hawk bomb? Could we progress up to that?
So we socialized this idea with a bartender last week who produced a bottle of pineapple liqueur from the bar and said, hey, you got to think about a jalapeno pineapple ham pairing. Take this bottle with you.
Right.
And use it as a foundational ingredient for your hawk bomb. So we're kind of
heavy
committed
discount on the bottle, too.
We're heavy committed to starting. And so we got a jalapeno vodka, or is it a tequila, actually? Maybe it's a jalapeno tequila. We have fresh jalapenos. We have hawk bombs. We're going to make this up on the fly.
Which bar is this?
That was at Mickey's.
That was Mickey's.
That sent
Mickey's,
us.
of course, yeah.
So that had to come home in the bike
I
along
thought
with the charcoal
you're doing
briquettes.
fresh jalapeno. That's
Well, I added that as an option. Again, we're creating this on the fly, so
let's see how it hits.
Wait, I will tell the listeners right now, Brad has a bit of concern.
No, I'm looking at it, and I like it. I just think to make this, going back to what we just did, a pickled egg. We're going to try this.
All right, John, why don't you go ahead and lead with this? What are we drinking here?
well, this is our first attempt at the hawk bomb. So this is created live on air. We've used the pineapple liqueur as a splasher that we acquired at Mickey's. So it's got a chunk of ham hock, a shot of jalapeno infused tequila, splash of pineapple liqueur, and we've added a slice of fresh jalapeno for garnishment and a little extra kick.
Yeah.
What do you got
Again-
there, Brad?
We're workshopping this, and I think the fresh jalapeno is a classy choice, and I think probably a great thing. But I think long term, if this turns into something, the bartenders of America will want us to just do like a pickled.
And if it's a dive bar
Yeah,
drink,
yeah, it's a dive bar drink.
it's got to be pickled.
So this is a, I don't know if you pronounce it chinola or chinola. This is the pineapple liqueur that we picked up at Mickey's when we were workshopping this concept. What we knew was we had the protein, we had the hock, so we knew we had a ham thing.
Right.
And we were trying to figure out what could we pair with that. And we thought about jalapeno, we thought about pineapple, and it just so happened they had some of this on offer, and they gave us a good deal on it. We thought, let's give it a go.
Right.
What could go wrong?
And really, sight unseen, I mean, the pairing's right. A ham jalapeno,
Right.
Canadian bacon pizza. I mean, that's a... or-
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a
no,
it's a
pineapple,
well-trodden.
pineapple. Yeah, that's a great combination.
It's been done, and we
Right.
all. Now
So I think
there
we're
are
onto
there are
something
those
here.
who might be like me and don't believe in like. Whereas I'm not a pumpkin spice, I'm not a dairy person. Some people think that pineapple belongs not on
Right.
any pizza ever. I don't subscribe to that. And I told you earlier I ate tuna and corn.
Right.
Yeah, but you also dispense liquids with a fork, so
Right.
some of your culinary points are not going to be accepted as valid.
So I think the flavor profile's been done, and it's a matter of like proportioning.
Do you think when Pitbull like said shot, 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 this was what he was making reference
Now,
to?
No.
Here's what I'm cautiously optimistic that fast forward 100 years from now,
Right.
people will be talking like, do you know that the guys that invented the Hawk Bomb also invented, and they'll list things like
Right.
Cool Whip and Pop Rocks. Like,
Right.
this could be the start.
They were
Right.
in Coralville,
Of-
Iowa.
This
in
could
a
be the
basement.
start of our food journey.
40 years from now, people will be coming up outside of this house to take
Yeah.
pictures
Of
of
the
the house, of the
The
place.
birthplace of the Hawk Bomb.
The Hawk
Birthplace
Bomb.
of the
Hawk Bomb.
Hawk Bomb. Let's do it.
All right, here we go,
I
fellas.
think we have to.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Well, I had a unfortunate situation, which was my ham hock stuck to the bottom of my glass.
Right.
So what I got
What?
was a mouthful of jalapeno
Right. There with you.
tequila.
I don't know where that jalapeno came from, but it was strong.
Now I will say, giving it a couple seconds, I am absolutely not angry.
No, it's
Not mad
it's
at
nice
it.
on the palate.
If we change, and again, I don't want to be my own. If you just lightened up the freshness and the crunch factor, the cruciferousness of that jalapeno,
I think our legal team is going to tell us that we probably should stamp the shot glasses with a choking hazard warning. Because that hammer, because I think we all experienced it sticking on the glass, and when it dislodged and came shooting down your gullet, I mean, it went straight to your gizzard.
It's like having a Nerf gun fire a ham hock at your back of your throat.
but I think there's something
with,
here.
with the jalapeno chaser.
Oh my god!
I agree with that. And I had the smallest chunk of meat. You guys had bigger hawks.
Right.
Oh no!
Yeah.
But once I got it
Yeah.
all together,
Right.
And I agree with all the points
pro-
about pickled jalapeno, but that fresh the
Oh.
texture of that crunch, and then the heat is fantastic.
I will tell you what I liked most about it. I like the pickled ham hock. So I like the vinegar ham, and I like the sweetness of the pineapple liqueur. And mine had just the right amount of heat. But I will tell you, wherever you got your jalapenos at, kudos. A little goes a long way with mine.
yeah.
I thought you were going to say your favorite thing about it was there's another half jar of ham hocks.
Ham
You can have
hocks in
another.
it. Right.
Guys, we made something that's got some leg.
I think it
Ham
does. Yeah, I think that you kind of dink with
Hot
the
bomb.
ratios a little bit. And
Can we put the
have
recipe like as a link in the description on YouTube?
We could.
I mean, I think we need to.
Yeah, well, let's get the recipe down. Let's get it down before we put it out there. Let's get something we're happy with. So,
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's only fair.
all right. Well, that's the second of our protein, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was something. It's new. Show me in the internets, the worldwide internets, where that has been drank before.
Yeah, I think we've created something.
I think we ran the table on a wide variety of
We've done well.
shooters.
Done well.
Is there anything left? Are we at the top of the mountain? All right, everybody. This week, instead of a top 5, we're going to do a speed round. And this week's speed round is I've compiled cocktails and shots, and the boys are going to decide whether or not they are real or not. So the first one is the one-armed French hooker, and it is a cocktail. The one-armed French hooker, and it is a cocktail. The second, the super pooper shot. The super pooper shot.
Okay.
The third, the nun's habit, and it's a shot. The nun's habit.
Mm-hmm.
The next is the sweaty left nut, and it is a cocktail. The sweaty left nut, and it is a cocktail. The next one is the duck fart, and it is a shot. The duck fart.
All right.
And the last is the hanky panky, and it is a cocktail. Hanky panky, and it is a cocktail. All right. So with these ridiculously named drinks, we'll start off with the first, the one-armed French hooker, and it is a cocktail. Brad, what did you have?
I'm a yes on that.
John?
Real.
Real. It is. It's 1.5 parts Genever,
Geneva. Yeah.
which is a Dutch drink.
It's a Dutch Flemish thing, yes. Shout out to the Bizon in
That's right.
Brussels.
1 part elderflower liqueur, 1 part grapefruit. They seem to be really big on the grapefruit too.
Yeah, they like the fruits in there.
Pamplemousse.
Yeah. Pamplemousse.
2 dashes of Creole bitters and 1 part sparkling wine or rose wine.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The next one, the super pooper shot. Is that a real drink or not?
I went no on that based on the name, but
Okay.
It's probably
I went no
not
as
good.
well.
Right. It is not a shot. Not to be confused with the super duper iced cocktail, which is 4 icy pops, Malibu rum, white rum, and extra sour lemonade.
Oh.
So the super pooper is not a shot, but the super duper is a cocktail.
And I think you can get Super Dupers and pumpkin spice this time of year.
You probably can. As a colonoscopy.
As a oh, I've had other enemas before, but the super duper.
I meant, yes.
Okay, so the next is the nun's habit shot.
I'm a yes on that.
I'm yes as well.
I could not find anything, and the nun's habit was made up in my very own mind.
Oh, wow.
All right.
What would you have if there were a nun's habit shot or a cocktail? What would be in that?
Wow. Well,
When you think
It would be an
nun-
ouzo-based shot for me, like a black licorice.
black licorice. Yeah, that's
black.
kind of like
Okay.
yeah, that's not bad.
yeah, I'm thinking of Austria. I'm thinking like Sound of Music.
I was
I
thinking
don't know,
Sally
like-
Field, the flying nun, the
Right.
big wing hat, which you just
Yeah.
don't see much anymore.
I'm thinking like Benedictine wine and some like maybe Bailey's.
Wafers, yes. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Benedictine wine, something sweet on sweet, but different types of sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe a future episode we create that drink.
The nuns have it.
All
Let's
right,
have
the
it.
next one, the sweaty left nut cocktail. Sweaty left nut cocktail.
I was yes on this.
I was too.
That also is made up.
Okay.
Now,
Only you would put
Right.
mind share to that and make that up.
right?
I thought that was like a Southeast, like
They
an
just made it up.
SEC drink
Right.
All right.
from Tallahassee or something.
Well, if you were going to make a sweaty left nut, what would you have?
So it's salty.
I would
Something
say I
salty.
think a single peanut dropped in a
Right.
shot glass.
I don't know. I'd go with the hammock.
I was going to say a Rocky
I
Mountain
think
oyster.
something that's-
Oh, Rocky
chewy.
Mountain oyster based?
A Rocky Mountain oyster.
In Malort?
And
Is that sweaty? Like sweaty socks and a
it does smell like a sock.
yeah. Maybe
It
we have a
tastes like a
Malort
sweaty
based
sock.
drink.
I think it's a Malort and a hammock. We might have to market this.
Right.
Hopefully Brian Wood's not listening to this because this could be the next tailgate.
The
Yeah.
sweaty left
A
nut.
sweaty left.
Okay.
Pickled gizzard in Malort?
I think the sweaty left nut you're chewing. You're
That
chewing
might be
something.
pickled gizzard territory. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So the next one is the duck fart shot.
I was also a yes on this
That's
one.
real.
This is real.
Yeah.
This is not only so. This is coffee liqueur, Irish cream liqueur, Canadian whiskey, and the Canadian whiskey floats on top of the 2 liqueurs. This is actually Alaska's state drink.
Okay.
All right. Last but not least, the hanky panky cocktail.
I was affirmative.
I was as well.
This is a real drink. It's made with gin, sweet vermouth, Vernet Blanc, and Bianc and a hint of orange juice. And this came out of a very schwanky Los Angeles hotel back in the 1930s.
Yeah.
Back when and the oh boy, I wish I would have put the rest of this information down there. But it was the first licensed female bartender in the United States, and her clientele were wealthy businessmen, and the person that claimed it, or they gave it the name, the Hanky Panky, said, "You've got it. Don't mess with it. This is the real Hanky Panky." So that's how the name got its name.
What year did you say it was, Ryan?
It was like 36.
Oh, 30.
Yeah, 1936. So
Seems to check out.
Yeah.
The right time frame for that.
We should try it.
all right.
Yeah.
Good session, guys.
Good session.
Really
You boys
solid.
got all your system?
Or all in our system, as the case may be tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And,
think
Feeling great.
we're going to have
I think what we threw at ourselves, I'm okay with it. I mean, it was a lot.
Right. No, it's a lot. It's definitely. All right. Thank you, everybody. Subscribe, listen, look for us on the Facebooks as the Deep Dive Pod group, and we will see you next time.